Coming up, your weekly roundup of news from around the haunt industry. Welcome to the show. I'm Philip. On the HAN show, we bring you the haunt news, information, and education you need to prepare for Halloween. On Tuesdays, we bring you a roundup of news from haunts worldwide. Read more about these stories and so much more in our free weekly newsletter. Subscribe at the link in the show notes. And as always, for the news roundup, I'm passing it off to Daryl.
Starting off with a message from Philip Hernandez, publisher of the Haunted Attraction Network. Halloween is having a great moment, and Universal is here for it. Comcast announced that it will split into two companies, one focused on connectivity and one focused on entertainment. The entertainment company, NBCUniversal, will be a focused media and entertainment company anchored by its growing theme parks division. I agree with Wall Street, which rewarded Comcast with its best day in over a decade, that this is an exciting move. As it turns out, there was no real synergy between connectivity and entertainment. Both sides suffered under the same shared multiple, and now each can be valued appropriately. What does this have to do with Halloween, you ask? Well, Comcast has made horror and Halloween a central part of its brand, with Halloween Horror Nights expanding nights at both Orlando and Hollywood, the year-round Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas, and the upcoming Horror Unleashed Chicago. Inside Comcast, those revenue lines were buried in a content and experiences grouping. Inside a focused NBCUniversal, Halloween becomes a story the CEO must tell investors who are now buying the company specifically for its entertainment narrative. That likely means more park-level disclosure and a higher bar for what HHN and UHU must deliver because the numbers are about to become much more visible. That stance dovetails with everything else Universal announced this week, all of it centered on horror. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando revealed the rest of its 5 original house slate for the 35th anniversary. Invasion, Alien Abduction, the event's first alien abduction house. Cyborgia, a dystopian cyborg house its creator calls fully integrated and kind of alive, and Madlands, Caged Cannibals, which Laura Sauls described as one of the bloodiest and most aggressive houses of the year. These join the previously announced Jack and Oddfellow and HR Blood and Guts, plus IP houses Sinners and Stranger Things 5. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, a Resident Evil Takeover soft launched at Universal Horror Unleashed, turning the common areas into Raccoon City with live actors, roaming zombies, and an Umbrella Corporation cafe. It's included with general admission, which means it's accessible even on the $30 Frady Cat ticket, exactly the kind of rotating, local-friendly programming UHU laid out at Monsterpalooza. Then, picking up from the Spirit Halloween story, Michaels dropped its largest Halloween collection ever, 6 decor lines built entirely around nostalgia. The heavy retail investment is a good sign for us and indicates that retailers expect spending to continue. However, the investment in nostalgia could signal that sentiment is still low. People tend to get nostalgic about the times they remember as better and simpler, so a retail giant betting this hard on throwback aesthetics could be reading to a consumer who is still going to spend, but isn't happy about it. Think about what you're considering themed zone direction, scare actor styling, or the marketing language that resonates with the retail primed shopper. Also this week, Green Tagged digs into when to change a theme park and when not to, Disneyland's Pirates Backlash, the Enchanted Park's dining plan cut, and Disney World's stretched holiday season. House of Horror Haunted Carnival moves to the Tropical Park in Miami for its 25th year, IAPA Expo opened registration with Haunting Grounds moving to the West Building, and there's now a dark ride management sim coming to Steam. Here's what you need to know this week. First off, in theme park news, Comcast is to spin off NBCUniversal around Universal's theme parks. Comcast on June 29th confirmed that it will separate into 2 independent publicly traded companies through a tax-free spin-off of NBCUniversal and Sky, expected to be completed within roughly 12 months. The new NBCUniversal, with Mike Cavanaugh as CEO, will be focused media and entertainment company, anchored by its growing theme parks division with Universal Film and Television Studios, NBC, Telemundo, Peacock, Bravo, and Sky. Michael Angelakis, the former Comcast CFO and current Alteros chairman, returns as CEO of standalone Comcast. The widely celebrated move places NBCUniversal in a better position to compete with Disney, and Wall Street was pleased. Comcast, with a NASDAQ ticker of CMCSA, closed up about 4.5% on the day, its largest single-session gain in over a decade. The stock spiked by 20 to 25% in pre-market trading before paring back over the session. No day-to-day changes have been announced or are expected yet, though how Halloween shows up in future earning calls could change. Halloween has quietly become a cornerstone for Universal, with HHN expanding nights at both Orlando and Hollywood, the year-round UHU operating in Las Vegas, and Horror Unleashed Chicago in the build queue. Inside Comcast, those revenue lines were buried in a content and experiences grouping shared with media. Inside a focused NBCUniversal, Halloween becomes the story the CEO has to tell investors who are now buying NBCUniversal specifically for the entertainment narrative. That should mean more park-level disclosure, attendance, per caps, hotel performance, Halloween program contribution, and a more visible read at the operation against Disney experiences. It also raises the bar on what HHN and UHU have to deliver because that metric is now public. 3 things that I'm watching for. Capital allocation post-spin. Will parks get the dedicated investment, or will Peacock's scaling take it? Segment reporting granularity. More park-level detail such as attendance, per caps, hotel performance, Halloween program contribution gives the trade audience a competitive read against Disney experiences. And M&A signals. Management denied the spin as a prelude to a deal, with Kavanaugh saying the plan is to build and invest in growth. Wolf Research's Peter Supino still framed NBCUniversal as an indisputable acquisition target at his $112 billion valuation. Tax-free structure rules out a near-term outright sale, but the 2-year window expiry is a date to track. Follow the links in our show notes to read the full analysis. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando announces the remaining original houses. Universal Orlando Resort in Orlando, Florida, has announced the remaining houses in its 5 original concept slate for the 35th anniversary Halloween Horror Nights. The new houses will join Jack and Oldfellow Chaos Control and HR Blood and Guts Returns for the original house slate. IP-based houses include Sinners and Stranger Things 5. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando runs select nights August 28th through November 1st. Tickets are on sale now at the event's official website. The new houses include Invasion, Alien Abduction, where you make contact with horrors from worlds unknown in Halloween Horror Nights' first alien abduction house. Invasion, Alien Abduction, takes guests to a remote southwestern homestead where a ship of greys, the large-eyed, gray-skinned aliens of UFO folklore, is tearing the property apart, snatching the family and their livestock for experiments. Senior show director Charles Gray told Nerdist the team deliberately set the house apart from the campy 1950s sci-fi tone the subject usually invites. When you do the little gray man or the aliens, it can quickly get humorous. It can get quite kitschy and cheesy, Gray said. In Invasion, Alien Abduction, we really wanted to tell a story of the horrific moment at night when they are coming to take you. And that's frightening. He described the result as almost home invasion type of horror and fear. The next house is Cyborgia. Enter into a dystopian cyborg-filled future in Cyborgia. The house's backstory centers on a corporation called Bio-Immortal Bionic Intelligent Systems, which offered customers immortality on the condition that they be cryo-frozen until the technology to deliver eternal life caught up. The company never delivered. Its intelligent facility, left to make do with its resources, began fusing human and robot parts to keep living tissue alive. The walkthrough takes guests through the freezing process into the future where man and machine have melded, and then outside the facility to see what's become of the world. Show director and house creator Matthew Flood told Game Rant in an exclusive interview. To see what's become of the world, show director and house creator Matthew Flood told Game Rant in an exclusive interview. Flood described the haunted house as fully integrated and kind of alive, with audio, lighting, and characters presentation at the next level. And lastly, Madlands, Caged Cannibals. Madlands Caged Cannibals drops guests into a post-apocalyptic zoo long after the animals have gone extinct. Rival tribes of cannibals occupy the abandoned grounds and have adopted the apex predator behaviors of the species that once lived there, learning those traits from the zoo's old signage and exhibit remnants. Guests pass through the cannibals' territory as prey caught between the warring factions. Laura Sauls, Universal's Orlando's Assistant Director of Entertainment Creative Development, told Cinema Blend the concept came from one of our newer scenic designers during a brainstorm week in April 2025. Sauls described the result as a bloody house and one of our bloodiest this year and one of the most aggressive in the event. Very bloody, very in your face, very intense and attacking. When to change a theme park and when not to. This week's episode of Green Tag Podcast focuses on 3 new items, all of them about change, when to make it, when to skip it, and how to communicate it. Disneyland from Anaheim, California is facing backlash after replacing one of the old skeletons in the Pirates of the Caribbean with a new projection-mapped animatronic. Screens and AI are deeply unpopular right now, and replacing a classic animatronic with a projection might have been a misstep. Enchanted Parks eliminated the legacy dining plan at its 6 former Six Flags properties. CEO James Harhey told Attractions magazine the company is prioritizing rides and improvements, not chicken tenders. The line is good. The underlying strategy is not visible yet, and a smaller chain almost certainly lost the bulk discount that made the plan profitable. A cleaner play would have been to lead with the price reductions and let the cut follow. Meanwhile, Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, extended its 2026 holiday season to nearly 2 months, from November 13th through January 6th, without adding anything new. Christmas at Disney is built on nostalgia, and changing the product would break the emotional logic guests come for. Halloween needs novelty. Christmas needs tradition. The Resident Evil Takeover soft launches at Universal Horror Unleashed, Las Vegas. A Resident Evil Takeover soft launched at Universal Horror Unleashed at Area 15 in Las Vegas, Nevada on June 25th. Turning the venue's common areas into Raccoon City, the experience includes a Raccoon Police Department facade, escape puzzles, live actors playing Leon S. Kennedy, Claire Redfield, and Nemesis, roaming zombies, and an Umbrella Corporation cafe with co-branded Resident Evil dining. Universal has not yet issued an official press release for the event, but in last month's Monsterpalooza panel, Universal Horror Unleashed laid out a 2026 calendar that included a June through August marquee summer event built around a major movie or TV property, and this Resident Evil Takeover fits exactly that slot. The Resident Evil Takeover is included with general admission, which means it is accessible even with a $30 Frady Cat ticket, the venue's lowest tier that grants common area, dining, and entertainment access, but excludes the 4 haunted houses. House of Horror Haunted Carnival moves to Tropical Park. The House of Horror Carnival is moving to a new location for the 2026 season. Now in its 25th year, the event will bring its scares to Tropical Park in Miami, Florida. While details of this year's event have yet to be announced, attendees can expect 5 haunted houses, 2 scare zones, carnival rides, and more. The event will run select nights September 24th through October 31st. Tickets will be $59 for general admission, including unlimited access to haunted houses and carnival rides, and $39 for 6 and under admission, includes unlimited carnival rides. Pine Street Horror to host Summerween Block Party. Join Pine Street Horror Haunted House in Lockport, New York for their first Summerween Block Party on Saturday, July 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event will feature 20-plus spooky vendors, food and drinks, entertainment, photo ops, and more. Pine Street Horror will also open their doors for a behind-the-scenes look at the all-new haunt. The event is free and open to all ages. Michaels bets on nostalgia with 6 2026 horror decor collections. Michaels is going bigger than ever before with 6 exclusive Halloween decor collections that bring nostalgic Halloween styles back from the grave, reimagined for today. Framed as a Halloween rewind, the collections draw from vintage carnival mysticism, late 90s roller rink culture, neighborhood Halloween parties, Gothic libraries, witchy coming-of-age stories, and Victorian Gothic romance. Halloween has always been about revisiting the traditions, stories, and rituals that make the season feel magical year after year, said Stacy Shively, Chief Merchandising Officer at Michaels. As consumers continue embracing analog living, we're seeing renewed interest in the nostalgic aesthetics of past generations. As the destination for creating and celebrating, we designed this year's assortment as a Halloween rewind, bringing together throwback decor, hands-on creativity, and party essentials to help customers reimagine those classics for today's home. Nostalgia as a merchandising bet can be read 2 ways. It might be a real generational signal that the Halloween audience is buying into analog, throwback, and pre-internet aesthetics. It might also be a softer economy comfort move, since consumers under economic pressure often lean towards what they remember as a better, simpler season. Either reading is a worth-watching data point for haunt operators thinking about themed zone direction, character styling, and the marketing language that lands with the retail-primed Halloween shopper. In convention news, Haunting Ground moves to West Building as IAAPA Expo 2026 registration opens. Registration is now open for IAAPA Expo 2026, and the Halloween-themed Haunting Grounds area will move to the Orange County Convention Center's West Building, as part of the show's largest footprint to date. Haunting Grounds is IAAPA Expo's dedicated Halloween and haunt area, where vendors specific to the haunt industry exhibit alongside themed activation and education. Haunted Attraction Network's 2025 coverage of Haunting Grounds covered the area's role as the haunt industry's annual touchpoint inside the broader attractions trade show. IAAPA has not yet released the full Haunting Grounds exhibitor list or programming slate for 2026. The move to the West Building puts Haunting Grounds in the same hall as the expanded food and beverage pavilion and the EDU talk stage, which should change the flow attendees take through the show. IAAPA Expo runs November 16th to 20th, trade show floor November 17th through 20th. Registration and additional information are available on the event's official website. In video game news, run your own dark ride with Scream Operator, Haunted House Manager game. Step into the control booth of your own dark ride in Scream Operator Haunted House Manager. This cozy, spooky management sim from Netherlands-based game development studio Jaffet Interactive tasks players with managing the real-time logistics, power grids, and customer psychology of a dark ride. From the gritty control panel, players must manually dispatch ride vehicles, trigger pre-shows, and route empty cars back into the depot while balancing the attraction's power capacity against heavy animatronics to avoid critical system breakdowns and safety fines. With Scream Operator, I wanted to capture the tactical stress and nostalgia of running a classic dark ride, says Niels van der Ven, founder of Jaffet Interactive. It is a balancing act between operating efficiency and psychological terror. As a player, you are operating a complex machine where guest safety, queue times, and maximum scare scores collide. The game is scheduled for a Q1 of 2027 release, with a public demo set to release in October of 2026. Learn more and add Scream Operator to your Steam wishlist on the game's official Steam page. Nightmare Wharf Scare Actor editions are happening August 15th and 16th. Nightmare Wharf of Buffalo, New York is now casting scare actors, performers, queue line entertainers, costume and makeup artists, and event staff. Open casting calls will take place on Saturday, August 15th and Sunday, August 16th from noon to 4 and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on both days. Attendees will learn more about the attraction, participate in interviews and auditions, and be considered for a variety of roles throughout the event. Interested parties should fill out their online application. The House of Horror Haunted Carnival casting call July 16th. The House of Horror Haunted Carnival in Miami, Florida is hosting a casting call on July 16th at the Westchester Cultural Arts Center from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Interested parties should sign up via the online application. Some upcoming events this June through August of 2026 include the Texas Haunters Convention from Irving, Texas, July 18th and 19th, Haunters Against Hate, the event, in Louisville, Kentucky, August 1st and 2nd, and Midsummer Scream from Long Beach, California, August 7th through 9th.
And that's all for the news this week. Today's episode was produced by me, Philip Hernandez, with reporting by Daryl Plunkey, post-production by David Swope. This Haunt News Update is a production of the Haunted Attraction Network, and you can sign up to our weekly newsletter at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. Support for this episode comes from Gantom Lighting and Controls. Until next time, Haunters, stay scary.
This is a Haunted Attraction Network production.